Now, with that out of the way, we can begin. The Qur'an has got its own writing system or orthography and differs from modern Arabic writing in terms of its spelling, signs, and symbols. The root words remain unchanged, keeping in mind, of course, that scribes who copied the original Qur'an over time, etc., were only men and errors are naturally to be expected, especially at a time where there were no automatic grammar or spell checker tools. However, the message is unchanged and reached us unchanged, as Allah promised. No matter if a scribe might have missed or added anything, it would not alter the message we are meant to receive, as evident by the different readings of the Qur'ans found today. The written Qur'an today is made up of 4 elements. Each element was built on top of the other organically over time due to necessity. The letters. The first element is the consonantal text of the Qur'an. The first Qur'ans written used only consonants, without any diacritic dots on the letters or vowel signs for short vowels, as in fatha, kasra, and dhamma, or long vowels, such as the alif, waw, and ya, or any other signs and symbols that we see today in modern Qur'ans. The reason for only using consonants is that the Arabs at the time, and still today, memorized the Qur'an by heart and used the text as a support. They already knew what a word was, so similar letters would not be confused. They also knew how to pronounce each word as it was their mother tongue. It was written in what is called mashq script, which was the first script used to document the Qur'an, after which a version of mashq derived in the city of Kufa, modern-day Iraq, referred to as Kufi, became the official Arabic script for centuries until its replacement by the modern Naskh-style script we see today. The earliest Qur'ans found today are believed to have been standardized by Uthman ibn Affan, also known as the third of the Rashidun, rightly guided, leaders after Muhammad, in around 650 AD, in order to preserve the original text after seeing differences in pronunciation after it had reached different regions of the earth. Therefore, the first element of the Qur'an is the consonantal text that is believed to be prepared by Uthman, which is also the Qur'an which we compare modern Qur'ans to for accuracy and authenticity. Letter dotting. The second element is the addition of the diacritic system, more specifically at this point, the dotting of the letters. This is called i'jam, which was introduced later in order to better distinguish letters. For example, the jim, ha, and kha all have the same form. The only difference visually becomes the dotting. The dotting system is similar in most countries. However, Morocco and Egypt have small differences with certain letters. Vowel signs. The third element to be added was the vowel points, called al-dabt. This includes all the signs for correct pronunciation and is mostly not part of the Arabic writing outside of the Qur'an. The vowel system today is the same in function as it was back then. However, the symbols evolved over time and some countries use different signs and symbols for the same thing. The vowel points or signs have the names fatha, Arabic meaning opening, dhamma, meaning gathering or compressing, and kasra, meaning breaking or drawing apart, and are referring to the shape your mouth makes with your lips when you pronounce a letter. A letter without them means your mouth remains static, in Arabic called having sukun, or stillness in English. Short vowels are called moves or movements, harakat, in modern Arabic. The original vowel points used to be dots rather than lines as found today, in a different colored ink to that used for the dots on the consonants, such as red ink, to better distinguish between the two. A dot above a letter represented fatha, a short a sound, a short version of today's long vowel alif. A dot below represented a kasra, a short I sound, a short version of today's long vowel ya. And a dot in front represented dhamma, a short u sound, a short version of today's long vowel waw. Today the fatha is a line above the letter, The kasra is a line below the letter, and a symbol that looks like a waw above the letter for the dhamma. We also have tanween, usually translated as to end or ending signs, which are basically the fatha, dhamma or kasra symbols doubled and only found at the end of a word for grammar purposes. They indicate that the vowel sound is combined with a vowelless or sakina nun, N sound, and today the symbols are for the doubled fatha, which indicates a letter's sound plus an, and this symbol also found as the double dhamma indicates the letter sound plus un, and this symbol, the doubled kasra, indicates the letter sound plus in. So for example, if a word ends with a ba plus the doubled fatha symbol, giving you, then the end of the word will sound like ban. Today we also have the shadda sign, or sign of emphasis, that looks like a small letter seen on top of a letter and which indicates that you should double the letter and that the first letter of the two is vowelless. The vowel marks are yet another mercy from Allah. The accurate reading of Arabic is made accessible and simplified by the vowel signs, to the point where non-Arabic speakers memorize, read, and recite the Qur'an so well without even knowing what any word they recited actually means. Which is not the point of reading the Qur'an, but one thing is clear: Arabic has been made easy for mankind to learn. To those who can already read and recite, I suggest that you focus on comprehension. Study classical Arabic morphology, grammar, and rhetoric. Finally, learn what the Qur'an is saying from within itself. The terms used by Allah are defined in the Qur'an by the one who sent it down. Punctuation marks. The fourth and last element is a rather new one added about 200 to 250 years ago, and it is punctuation marks or rules and signs for stopping and pausing. This is mostly for non-Arabic speakers, as punctuation in classical Arabic is usually evident from grammar and rhetoric. These systems differ in different countries, and in the Indian subcontinent, for example, you can find the signs to be overused and contradictory at times. Having now gone through the four elements that make up the Quranic written text, there are a few things to remember. You can make use of the original consonantal text to figure out if a letter is added or omitted to a modern Qur'an. They should not be, however some are, and spelling differs from country to country. In some countries, there is an alif in a word that has no alif in another country. Also, in Egypt, ya has no dots, for example, whereas it has dots in other countries. Or in Morocco, you will find that instead of 2 dots on the letter qaf, there is only 1. Therefore, it is best to go back to the original source and use modern text that conform to it. Also, as I have mentioned at the beginning, the text of the Qur'ans are written by men who are fallible. Muslims in the past knew this and understood that Allah will preserve the Qur'an's message, not the actual writing conventions of each scribe, the specific pronunciation, or whether there are man-made errors such as spelling or vowel errors, or words missing or added, depending on each scribe's work. It is only a recent phenomena where Muslims claim that the Qur'an is preserved 100% without a letter out of place. This type of thinking will only benefit those who want to lead mankind astray, because if they prove to you that a Qur'an written by a scribe over 1,000 years ago had words missing or added compared to today's Qur'an, however, without affecting the intended message or the reminder, those who are of weaker faith or who lack knowledge will take this as meaning that the Qur'an has been altered just like the other scriptures. This is because they believe that Allah told them that the Quranic text will not have any errors in it, even though the scribes, after the time of Muhammad, who were copying the original text, were men. Those people may end up rejecting the message entirely due to this belief. What is preserved is the message, the actual guidance that we need from Allah. If the text is perfect without any blemishes, then great. But if not, are you then going to reject the message? Because that is what most are setting themselves up for. Absolutely, we have revealed the reminder, and absolutely, we will preserve it. 15:9. This is an honorable Qur'an, in a protected book decree. None can grasp it except the sincere, purified. A revelation from the Lord of all mankind. 56:77-80. Indeed, it is a glorious Qur'an upon a protected tablet. 85:21-22.